matchup for these warrior decks. But now he's just got, I believe, his Hunter deck remaining, which he's either got to win a mirror matchup or go into a Reno lock matchup and win that. I think Chakki's got a good shot of making it to the finals.
I mean, we've seen the Hunter versus Reno matchup this weekend. It is not kind to the Reno player. The Hunter just has so many large endgame threats that are not effectively dealt with. I mean, this is dire straits for the Rat. He has to be perfectly on point. He has to have the right answers. If he missteps at all, it's going to be over. And I mean, and when you're behind that significantly in a matchup, it usually entails taking more risks.
Yeah. So, Chakki beat the Rat to win the Open. That got both of them here. Chakki, of course, auto-qualified with the win. The Rat got enough Geico points to qualify for the event. Will this be a repeat? Will Chakki once again defeat the Rat?
Yeah, Stubbs has to win his Hunter mirror first. I know he's very experienced in these, but this is a very different style of Hunter than we've seen in the past. I mean, this is so early game focused. The Rat going to choose to hang on to a quick shot here. And Chakki's going to pitch everything away. We did see a knife juggler in his build as well. Pretty curious.
Is that Chakki's knife juggler?
Yeah, and that's a second Unleash the Hounds, I believe, that we saw also. So, I mean, 2 copies of Unleash the Hounds and a knife juggler. Obviously, giving some real credit to Zoo as the deck he wants to beat.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be trapped for the Rat. And Chakki's
Rat
got
trap.
Rat trap for the Chalk.
Was that a board game? No, Mousetrap. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it was Rat Trap. You're right. I remember it.
No.
It was the bootlegged version that I had to play when I was a kid because we were too poor to afford Mousetrap. And you remember it just never worked at the end either. Like the marble would make it all the way through and like it's stuck in the bathtub. Yeah. You're like, come on, game. And like the net never dropped down, so you just had to manually do it.
Yeah. The little marble, the bootleg version, Rat Trap, instead of a little plastic marble, it was actually just a rolled up ball of mozzarella cheese. And it barely even rolled, and sometimes it melted if it got too hot, especially in Texas.
Game didn't have much of a shelf life.
Yeah. About a day.
The first board game with an expiration date.
That was on the box. Freezing Trap is going to pose a pretty big threat here.
I don't know. I mean, he's got Houndmaster, he's got Eaglehorn Bow with Flame Juggler. Chakki's kind of got a lot of ways to stall this. Now, the Rat does have Ragnaros in his hand, and if it gets to like these big stalemated boards where both players are kind of, unwilling to make the first move, the Ragnaros really will break that stalemate.
But there's also some not so great targets in this deck for Rag to hit. So, definitely a powerful minion that's almost impossible for Hunters to deal with without a deadly shot. So see what the Rat's going to decide to go with here. Stranglethorn Tiger just feels like the most powerful play to make on curve. But, like you said, that Houndmaster actually making the Freezing Trap maybe not the best. You can bounce that back to his hand. Still have a 4/6 on the board to challenge whatever he's going to play. He's actually going to tracking and try and find something different here. Deadly shot to in a high main fiery bat.
The feeds come back.
What? It's so random.
Praise Blizzard. It's like Yogg-Saron on Discover. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Bad deadly shot. Certainly not the one he was looking for.
Yeah, he can just keep this Leok on board and not worry about the Freezing Trap. Stick some minions behind this. I mean, Unleash the Hounds could even proc the Freezing Trap if he needs to. He can Eaglehorn Bow here, attack in, coin out, Unleash the Hounds, get a Hound back into his hand, and clear off the board.
Yeah. Kind of an interesting match that's ended up developing because neither player had super strong early game. Now Flame Juggler looking okay here. He's going to go with Unleash the Hounds. Yeah, and that procs the freezing trap, and that's bad news for the Rat.
Yeah, and also what this does, if there's a second freezing trap, which is actually quite rare, it means that Chakki has an on-demand answer in the form of a 3-mana Hound. I mean, it is 3 mana having to be expended, but he does have that on-demand Hound to work in here. And so now the Rat is in a tough spot, and he has discarded one of his Savannah High mains. So that's something to take into consideration. That's one big threat that he's not going to have as this game goes on.
And we'll see how Chakki handles this. Knife Juggler. Not a bad one when you got this much action in hand.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, probably not reserved for this turn, but... Wow, just what an advantage I feel like Chakki has right now.
I mean, I think Knife Juggler's a fine play. He might want to, I was thinking maybe Flame Juggler first and Infested Wolf, and then you find yourself in a situation where you can Knife Juggler and trade in Infested Wolf and get 2 juggles along with that. But hits the Flame Juggle as well, so now this Stranglethorn Tiger just makes a clean trade into this, unless it gets Town Mastered up, but it's going to be left fairly weak if that's the case.
Yeah, but then where do you put the rest of these cards? I mean, you just start sending out 2/3s to die, or 3/2s to die, or you start quick shotting. You know, if Chakki has the initiative here, it's a lot easier for him to dictate the trades than it is for the Rat to do the same.
A lot easier for him to put on the pressure as well.
Yeah.
If you have the board, it's a lot easier for you to just say, you know what, I'm just going to go.
That's often the tiebreaker when you see both players kind of fighting for the board, is the player with more options is usually the one who ends up winning.
Yeah. Also, the player that just gets fed up first hovers over the minion to trade and then says, screw it, and goes face. Usually that player is Chakki.
Look, dinner's done soon, okay? I gotta go.
Yeah. My Snapple's getting warm. It is going to be Hound Mastered. Imagine we're just going to see a quick shot on the Flame Juggler here, but Chakki's got some pretty strong plays.
Now that he's seen that quick shot, this Knife Juggler is looking a little bit more appealing, but doesn't really have a lot to pair with it.
I mean, he could just Knife Juggler, Animal Companion, trade in and Hero Power after Eagle Horn bows down this this Houndmaster. I mean, these juggles are going to be sort of inconsequential. There's a chance that he hits 3 on the Houndmaster.
Albeit pretty small, it's definitely a chance.
I don't think there's really a chance for Chakki to play the Hound. Just the Hound.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, especially since he has the second Eagle Horn bow in his hand.
Oh, that's going to be Eagle Horn Bow Animal Companion.
Yeah.
Swing with that bow, get that companion online. And the Rat, without Call of the Wild, is looking in a bad spot. I can promise you Chakki's a little bit worried about Animal Companion here, but he's got the board. The Rat does not have Call of the Wild. And Ragnaros does not look very good on this board.
No, I think this one might be locked up. Chakki has so much burn in his hand as well.
Wow, it's going to be Ragnaros.
On demand next turn.
The Rat says, rip it. This is my way to win. It goes face 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's 18 damage exactly. Chakki's going to lock up this series 4 games to 2 in the Hunter Mirror, taking full advantage of the tools at his disposal.
And that means Chakki's going to move on to feature number 3 finals to face off against Shoop.
Yep, and with what we've seen from Chakki's lineup, I'm a little bit worried from Shoop. This lineup looks like it is so good versus Reno Jackson, and Chakki navigating the Hunter matchup so well as well. Mm-hmm. Just everything going his way. I mean, the Rat, I think, played pretty excellently. Just Chakki had him pipped at every single point. Just every time the Rat had some sort of attack, it felt like Chakki answered back. You know, aside from the blowout games we saw from the Rat, where he had the insane draws with Cthulhu Druid and with Shaman. You know, I mean, Chakki had his share of insane draws as well, but that's when it came down to like the back and forth, the ebb and flow in the matchups, Chakki got the better of him.
Yeah, and once again, you know, the Rat's probably thinking deja vu. He beat me in the open, he beats me in the future. The Rat, though, still an impressive performance. I mean, of course, he was one of the qualified players making it here through Geico points because of his performance in the circuit opens. He will go away with $750 and 10 Geico points for taking third/fourth place. So starting to get that Geico points total up there. There's still a chance for him to qualify for the feature tournament, or sorry, for the final tournament, the grand finals at PAX Prime. If he manages to do well in a couple more opens. Of course, Shoop is the front runner for that. But if Shoop wins in the feature tournament, he gets eliminated from the points running because he gets the automatic qualification. So I think the Rat's definitely, even though his pride wants to root for Chakki, his brain wants to root for Shoop because it means that he gets a better shot at qualifying through Geico points. But that means the final set, Chakki versus Shoop, should be a great one. Before we jump into that, we're going to have to go to a break, but make sure you guys head over to the website during the break. Lots of cool stuff there. One, you could sign up for the next Open, which takes place on June 16th. If you want to have your shot at $1,000 in each of these Opens, if you want to have your shot at competing in these feature tournaments, make sure you go ahead and go there and sign up. It is limited to U.S. residents only, but if you are in the U.S., make sure you head over there, get some tournament experience under your belt. Also, you can get a free Geico quote there. I've said it many times throughout the day and throughout the weekend. I guarantee you, if you go there and if you insure anything in your life right now, you could probably save money by switching to Geico. So get your free quote, and in doing so, enter in to win your CyberPower Gamer Extreme PC at the same time. But while you're doing that, we're going to take a quick break while we reset and get ready for the finals. But don't go anywhere. The conclusion to the feature tournament number 3 will continue right after this.